All right, family, so today we're going to talk about setting your kids up for wealth. One of the important things when it comes to building wealth is not only you getting the information, but putting your kids in a situation to win. Tax-free wealth, college, long-lasting investing. So today we're going to break down 3 accounts that you should have, and you stick to the end. I'll give you a formula on what I did with my daughter to put her in position at 9 to already be free, man. So listen, man, it's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. I want you to like and subscribe. Also talk to us in the comments. Tell us in the chat how we can help you a little more so we can then put that on the screen. Now, one of the questions I've been getting asked all the time is, Trap, what can I do for my kid to put them in a situation to be successful, to be wealthy, to win at this game, right? Because, you know, we always get in a situation where we think, like, I wish somebody would have told me this. I wish somebody would have told me that. Well, today, we're going to answer a lot of those questions that you needed answered. We're going to put you on the right track. But we need you to like, we need you to subscribe, right? And go on and share this out. So today, we're going to break down these 3 accounts right here, right? We're going to break down the 529 account, which is cool, but has its limitations, has its lacks. We're going to break down the UGMA and the UTMA, which is UGMA or UDMA. We're going to break those down. And then we're going to get into the custodial Roth IRA. These are all essential. They all play a role, right? But you don't have to do all 3 of them, right? So I'm going to tell you the one that I like the best. I'm going to tell you the one that I use for my daughter. And I'm going to tell you the reason how I shaped hers out to put her in position. So the first thing we're going to talk about is this 529 plan. So this 529 plan is mostly used for, best used for is education. Like, it's about getting them, you're trying to make sure they pay for college. You know, they're not so much leaning on the scholarships, you're taking care of that, right? But it does has its limits, right? And depending on state to state, anything over $19,000 in that account has to be reported to the IRS. We definitely won't get into that, right? So there's limits, there's restrictions when it comes to this 529, right? And again, it's dependent on the state, right? Next thing, it is tax-free education. So if you use it for just for education, this is what this 529 plan is for. It's not focused on anything else. It's focused on college. It's focused on education. Anything in those parameters is tax-free, right? Now, the purpose of this is to cover college up to $10K a year, right? And K through 12 tuition. Now, again, anything school education-wise, this is good. Now, here's what I want to say about that. We know one thing for a fact. We know one thing for a fact. We understand that college is definitely more than 10K a year. We know that for a fact, right? So you're going to have limitations on it. Now, watch this, right? The parents control it. Anything that's non-educational gets taxed and penalized. So I want you to think about that. Anytime we use this 529 for anything other than education, it will get taxed and penalized. Which is why me personally, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. People ain't going to like when I say this. I don't like this. I don't like it. One, I'll be honest with you, every kid don't want to go to college, right? We live in an era right now where they want to do so many other things. Now, I'm not against college. I think that college is great for networking. I think college is great if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer. I think college works well, but I think there's better scenarios for us. And that's where we get into this one, the UGMA or UTMA account, right? Now, you can open this up with TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Charles Schwab, Fidelity. They all have access to this. Now, this one is for long-term wealth purposes, right? There is no limitations on what you can put in here. There is no limitations on what you invest in here. The thing about this one is there is no money limit, but you are subject to a gifting tax, right? So the federal government, our government, has a gifting tax. And we'll get into that a little bit more. I'm gonna give you a little more dialogue on the gifting tax, right? Next thing, taxes are on the earnings, but it's at a child tax rate. That's important. There is a thing called a child tax rate. And you know what? I'm gonna make a whole thing on that, right? The different ways that we get taxed here in America, right? But that's good. So we understand that there is no money limit, but you are subject to a gifting tax. I'm gonna break that down. But the only thing that gets taxed on this account is the earnings. So if you put $1,000 in, they make 200,000. They make $200. The 1,000 don't get taxed, but the 200 does. Right? That's taxes. Right? Now the dope part about that is that child tax is so much cheaper than what we do. Next thing, the purpose for it, unlike the 529, the purpose for this one is anything. Now, you have control of it as the parent until the child gets 18 or 21, depending on the state. So I've been investing for my daughter since she was 1 year of age. She's now 9 years old. I've bought back her freedom. At this point, the goal for me now is to buy her kids freedom or switch over to this one right here, right? So this one, everyone should have. In my family now, I'm starting what's called an SOP for this, and everyone in my family has. When you have a kid, that kid is now obligated to. You open up this UDMA account for them, and before I buy them a gift, I will put some money in their UDMA account. Before I buy them a Christmas present, I will put some money in their UDMA account. You don't gotta open up a bank account for them because the bank ain't doing nothing but what? We already know. The bank doing what? They robbing us. You put 10 grand in the bank, you might make $1 a year on it. Right? So it don't make no sense with that. But what we can do is teach them about money and then put them in their UGMA account or their UGMA account, right? Best purposes, long-term wealth. You're gonna get taxed at that. That's all right. Now, let's go a little further. So the one that we really want to get into too is you can pivot. And the reason why I say you can pivot is because these are the two that I really love. And the reason why I love these two is because you can use them in unison. Let's say your child 1, right? And let's say you go from ages 1 to age 12, or from birth to age 12. You say, you know what? From birth to 12, I'm gonna invest in stocks, right? But from 12 to 18, I'm gonna start this custodial account for you. Why did you do the Roth custodial account? Because this account is tax-free retirement. Okay, let's talk about it. Tax-free money till retirement. So the money you put in here is tax-free. When they retire, they pull it out. They don't got to pay nothing on it. Now watch this. You can only put up to $7K, but it cannot exceed the child's earned income. So that's where you get to so now you can double down and get the tax loophole. You go and hire your child. You can pay your child up to $6 grand a year, and 6 or 12 grand a year. I gotta go back on that. You can pay them up to 6 or 12 grand a year. I can't get them. I think it's 12 grand a year. Don't beat me up in the comment around that. But what happens is now you can say, okay, if I'm paying you this a year, you say, okay, I'm gonna invest this for you. You get the tax write-off and they get the tax. Come on, y'all. So little small things we can do, but I think it's 6 or 12 grand. I don't know off the top of my head right now. Got a lot in my brain. Now, watch this. It's tax-free growth, meaning remember on this one, we pay taxes on the what? On those gains. On here, those are tax-free. Next, the purpose is for the kids' retirement. I know we think, well, they got a long time to retire. Well, guess what? They're saying right now that the average person cannot retire comfortably. So what if you somebody started investing for your retirement when you was young, and then when you got older, you took over, you start putting into it. Watch this. It's controlled by the parent until adulthood. So just imagine if you putting these two things in play. Right? Because that's what I'm about to start doing for my daughter now. I done already built this portfolio out to where I wanted to be. The next thing I'm going to start doing for her is a custodial Roth IRA. And I can only put 7 grand in that. So now she's what? 9 years old. I can let that play run till she about 18, putting 7 grand a year in it. I put the right stocks in it. It keeps growing for her. And guess what happens now? She can't touch it till she's 59. So now I've already put it in place for this, And I let her know, look, you take over at 18, you got to at least put 7 grand a year in this from 18 to 59. So you've already good with the custodial account. You already good with this. So now once I teach her how to play the options game, I teach her how to invest, she can then take over. I'm already putting her in a situation to take over this account. Now here's the dope part about it. We teaching her about money at an early age so she don't just misuse this account. We teaching her about money at an early age so she don't misuse this account. So she know the importance of building her wealth with this one and then being older, building her wealth with this one. What happens if you would start putting in your retirement account when you was 18? What if you don't even do the 7 grand a year? What if you do 5 grand a year? From 18 to 50. So now we playing, watch this, we playing the medium long-term game here, we playing a super long-term game here. So I think that the 529 plan, I will say this, if you got this in place, it cancels out the idea for them to get scholarships and student loans and all that. Because once they run this play right here, they say, you can't get that unless you just get this academic scholarship 4.0. Not scholarship, I mean student loans and all that. With this, you can't do it. But they call that financial aid and all that. You can't do it when you got this in place. But get scholarship and all that, you can. Now, I'm gonna go a little deeper in some with y'all. Because I know a lot of people don't understand that when I talk about contributions. So anything over $300,000 falls under the gifting tax. They consider it as a gift. Anything over $300,000 in a contribution is considered a gift. Now the thing about that, the gifts, any gift over 19,000 counts toward your donor's limitation. Meaning, in your lifetime, you can only give $13.61 million. That's all you can give. In your lifetime, you can only, that's the tax exemption. Okay, listen to me. As a gift, I can only give $13.1 million and get it as a gift tax exemption. So remember, under 300K is considered a gift. You can only get 13.6 million. So let's go back to what we talked about right here, where it says this, and that's why I brought this up, because this right here, remember we said in the UGMA, what happens? It is subject to what? The gifting tax. So once you reach, you say, okay, I'm at 300K, you fall into that gifting category, you only get this much, 13 points. So watch this. If I give my daughter, I can give up to 13.61 million in my life as a gift and be tax exempt from it, right? So this is us learning the rules. That's why I put this here. I put this for us to learn the rules. So once we learn these two things, I think that we all should have, I'm not a fan of the 529, I'm okay, but I think we all should put the UGMA and the custodial Roth in place. Why? Let's say you have a newborn, you invest them to they're about 12 in the UGMA account. From 12 to 18, 19, you putting their retirement in place and you letting them know the importance of it and what it is. So I like this concept. I think it's important for us to understand all three. I think as the new generation of wealth builders, as the people that turn our last name to asset, these are really important. It's your boy, the Wall Street Chapman, man. Tell us in the comment how you feel about this post, how you feel about this content. Any questions that you have, let us know. I'm going to answer them in the chat. Any question you have, I'm going to answer it in the chat because my goal is to help you build legacy. My goal is to help you turn your last name into an asset and build wealth one share at a time. And remember, we building wealth, man, we putting our kids in position. We put our grandkids in position. What it said, a good man leaving inheritance for his kids. Well, let's start putting them in play with doing stuff like this, man. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this out, man. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. Salute.